Hi, this is my friend Buki, and she's from Nigeria, and we're going to ask her a few questions about your culture.
So what does a typical household look like in your culture? Like who lives with you and how many children are there?
Well, in a household in Nigeria, you have your grandparents and probably a cousin or uncle, and your mom, your dad, and kids.
Are there any typical dating or marriage processes?
People usually don't date till probably after high school or during high school, but you never tell your parents about it because they don't expect you to have anyone because you're too little. But when you find the person, you show them to your parents, and then they approve. And if they don't like them, you have to forget about it.
Are there any specific gender roles in your culture?
Yeah, well, yes, for the most part, because both parents go to work, but in some houses, the mom is the housewife and she cooks and cleans and takes care of the kids. And when the kids are old enough, like 18, 16, they start cooking, and so the mom stops cooking. It just teaches you how to be a better mom when you get older.
How do you view aging in your culture?
Well, in my culture, I think everyone likes to age and live long and get white hair and eventually be grandparents or whatever, and people respect older people.
Are there any manners you're expected to follow in your culture at home versus in public?
At home, okay, so growing up when I was little, you weren't allowed to eat in front of TV because you might mess it up or get everywhere messy, so everyone eats on the table. And when you go to a visitor's house and they ask you, "Oh, are you hungry?" and your mom gives you that look, just say no immediately. Like, you don't ever say yes because you're gonna get whooped when you get home. But yeah, never accept anything from strangers, and whenever you see an older person, you always have to greet them and be respectful.
What kind of typical foods do you eat in your culture?
Everyone eats rice. That's the main thing. Jollof rice, fried rice, anything rice. Everyone eats rice, and there's noodles, but it's called Indomie. Everyone, kids eat it, and then we eat a lot of vegetables and fresh produce. And local foods are basically vegetables with cassava in it or flour. I don't know. Just local foods, and it's yummy and spicy.
Do you have any home remedies in your culture?
Well, whenever people eat too much candy or something like sugar, growing up when I was little, my mom would make these herbs and boil it. It was so bitter and gross, and she would "Oh, you have to take it. It's because I love you." And so she would give us, and it would make your tummy feel better. But you have to remove everything out of your system.
Do you have any clothing expectations in your culture?
I'm a Christian, so whenever we go to church on Sundays, you're not allowed to wear pants or jeans because, I don't know, they probably think you're enticing men. You also have to wear a scarf or a hat, which doesn't make sense. If guys can wear jeans, then we should be able to wear jeans too. It's a free world. But that's the only part I think that's ridiculous.
How do you show affection to different people in your culture?
Never hug or kiss or anything. Especially in front of my parents, ever. Apart from my mom and my sister, I'm clingy to them. Always in their personal space, which I don't care about. But for my friends and significant others, I just try to be there and listen or talk to them.
What's one thing that makes you really happy about being part of your culture?
The main thing and the first thing I love about being part of my culture is the food and the diversity, and I don't know, it's very rich, and there's so many tribes and languages and different people, and everyone just kind of understands stuff you don't have to say, from actions. You can always know stuff and slangs, It's fun. I love being Nigerian. Yeah.